Fred Ottman, WWE Hall of Famer, tugboat, shockmaster. A lot of questions whether he actually deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but he's been battling a lot of health issues in recent years. And apparently his gallbladder basically exploded and he's been in the hospital for an extended period of time. He's 69. Apparently he's been in the hospital at least 30 days. So very sorry to hear about that. In other news, this is interesting. The Mountie Jacques Rougeau, who was one of my trainers, met Bronwyn Billington, the daughter of the Dynamite Kid, one of the British Bulldogs who Jacques Rougeau famously beat up with a roll of quarters back in 1987 WWE. Bronwyn apparently said that she understands why Rougeau did it and there was no hard feelings. So I don't know if Dynamite ever would have forgiven him. I doubt it. But it's nice to see that Bronwyn did. Apparently, as far as Jacques, he's had 3 retirements, but he's stepping back into the ring again this year. And he did something pretty funny. Let me actually share the screen on something here with you guys. He was at the 80s WrestleCon over the weekend. And I guess they had him. He's known as a singer, right? For the All American Boys song, and then the Mounties song. Let's play the Mounties song. What happened for you guys? I'm the Mountie. Oh, you guys are not cheering enough. So there's a true heel. I guess he goes up there and he sings part of the song, and the audience isn't into it enough for him. So, you guys are horrible. I'm not doing this. I mean, that's great. That's what I love to see in heels. True heels with that true colors coming out like that. But he's healthy, and I think he might be in Florida for the winter. I know he always bases himself in Montreal, but I believe he's in Florida for the winter. As far as the Super Bowl, which Seattle won today, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch were there, as well as Kofi Kingston and Logan Paul. Logan Paul, who says he's been wrestling in WWE half the time as AJ Styles' whole WWE career, so he should get more respect. He just doesn't understand wrestling. But apparently Logan Paul was booed. Of course, I mean, him and his brother have a lot of heel heat. As far as AEW, Swerve Strickland and Darby Allin were there. I still don't understand why they pay Swerve Strickland $5 million a year. That's just crazy to me. I mean, you don't have to get paid to draw these days. It's amazing the money you could make for not being a draw these days. If these guys actually had to get paid based on the houses that they drew, they'd literally be making pennies. But apparently also Big Boom AJ, another contracted AEW wrestler, one of the whole Costco guys, for whatever reason, they're all under contract. Big Boom AJ of the Costco guys, who's also an AEW wrestler and a true disgrace to wrestling. He was also there. They were wearing AEW merchandise. Eric praying for Tugboat. I mean, I've interviewed Tugboat. I've interviewed Tugboat, Dynamite, or I've interviewed Tugboat, the Dynamite doll, Bronwyn Billington, as well as Jacques Rougeau many times, as well as Davey Boy Smith Jr. many times, British Bulldog's son, the other British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. So search any of those up if you aren't familiar with any of those wrestlers. And Jacques gives about a 30-minute explanation of the whole backstory of the Dynamite Kid fight in my interview with the Mountie, if you searched it up. Dynamite did bully a lot of people. I don't know if I would have resorted to using a weapon, but as he explained in the video, he had been humiliated and he may not have been able to do what he did if he hadn't had the weapon. So he did what he had to do. Then there was always rumors that Dino Bravo, who was friends with Dynamite, passed a message to Dynamite saying something like if there was any further retaliation. This is just rumored innuendo. The Montreal mob would get involved. And since Bravo, who ended up getting executed, had ties to it, the message through Bravo, which the message wasn't from Bravo, it was through apparently people the Rougeaus knew, being passed through Bravo to Dynamite. That's apparently why there was no retaliation. And I am more leaning towards believing that, because Dynamite just doesn't seem like the type of guy that would let that go. And a very sad situation what happened with him, but again, overall, he deserved retribution, and Jacques taught me a good amount when I trained with him in 2002. I'm doing great, Anthony. I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone had a great Super Bowl weekend. And let's keep Fred Ottman in our prayer. Vincent remembers the note rumor. Well, if you think about how proud Dynamite was and how violent Dynamite was, and he never went back to WWE anyways, to me, that's the only explanation why he never would have got revenge, because he's beat people up a lot worse for a lot less than that. And I do think if Dynamite had done a similar attack, it would have ended really badly as well. But again, I think there's more to the story. But back in those days, the dressing rooms were wild. Is Jacques still wrestling? Yeah, he's had 3 retirements, but he's coming back to wrestle again this year from my understanding. So I'll follow that. Here's something pretty cool. There was over 11,000 fans at his retirement, which was the same year as the original All In was, with Cody and the Young Bucks and Omega. Everyone said that was the highest attended independent wrestling show that year. It was actually Jacques Rougeau's retirement, over 11,000 at Jerry Park in Montreal. If you look up Jacques Rougeau's retirement, the Hannibal TV, you could watch that match here.